Hello everybody and welcome back to Spark Notes. This is a series where you guys actually put your games into the replays channel of the Discord and I go over them. This is a completely free thing that we do over here just to kind of help other people that are in the Discord, build themselves up and maybe reach a higher rank than they're able to. If you want a chance of doing something similar and you want to get your stuff reviewed or have a chance to do so, go ahead and put it in the replays channel in the Discord. We actually cover these a couple times a week and yeah, it's completely free, nothing at all. So this is actually a game that we're going to be doing from Squat Noodle. He says that this was a game that was a win, felt very close, and there were things that he could have done better, and felt like the first half of the match he really didn't play as well as he should have. So we're going to take a look at it. This is a Diamond 1 game as far as I know, so we're going to take a peek, and we're going to see if we can do anything. Overall, at the start, I don't hate this setup over here. I prefer the left side, but the right side's not that bad either. It's a really good angle on this on this area next to the giant minivan, the mom truck that's here on the right. Showing a little bit early. Uh-oh. Okay, let's back up for just a moment. So right here, I enjoy the fact that, the idea of you playing up with the tank, but I think this one's a little bit scary just because of their, team comp, right? It's a little too soon for us to be peeking and, showing here. So, rather than this, I would have actually preferred you to float on this angle here on this right-hand side, just because you get a little bit of a clearer angle. Imagine if we were standing here and then we see this cloak and dagger showing up late to the fight. Because of this, we actually have a pretty good angle to go in on her. Maybe this Loki doesn't catch it fast enough and he ends up not being able to put a lamp down on her, or she ends up fading, or at the very least we can get a Loki lamp. We burn a lot of utility. Just waiting for the other team to push up a little bit, and then this Loki clears this corner. You're actually able to maybe walk forward and portal, drop a demon on her, and start to fight it a little bit. Especially whenever you're doing something like this, it's a little bit scary just because, as we can see, Thing is up here on the right. If you show too early right now, he might jump down and, he could put the tremor on the ground, making you not be able to leave. The Loki lamp is here, so the Thor wouldn't even be in much danger until it's broken. The Human Torch is up here, and although Human Torch isn't necessarily that scary, it's still a lot of damage that he can dump on you. They have a Wanda, so leaving and running away from her might be a little bit hard if we get stuck, which, we just saw that we do. Thor is able to actually back you into the enemy team, so that way they're able to secure you as a kill. It's a very, very scary thing to be doing here, and we really, really want to be a bit careful. I would prefer the idea of you hiding over here and just giving it a second and playing reconnaissance, but if we're going to do something like this, we need to make sure that we're sitting behind the Strange, not overextending. They have a very, very high damage dealing, juggernaut here in the front, right? Thor is a very big bursty character, and with Thor and Torch looking at you, it can be a recipe for disaster, right? We just want to be very, very careful about that kind of thing. Okay, so we go over, we end up getting a little bit stuck. Yeah, we get stuck. We actually end up getting out, but it could have gone really, really bad. Okay, backing up and hitting the Thing. He's out of position. Very good. We see the Wanda. We end up using a cooldown to get up here. She ends up backing off. I like the idea of using the demon. And then we just go back and wait for our cooldowns to come. And yet again, we move forward with the Strange. Okay, moving over to this side. We're fighting in the Tremor. This is going to be a little bit scary. This should be a dub. Nice. They didn't come over to help him. Goku is apparently getting soloed. Love to see it, though. Running Thor and Thing. Thor and Thing is a really good team comp, but the people that are playing them really have to be aware of what they're doing. If they're just one of them is filled, then it's just not possible. Okay, I like the idea of trying to capitalize off of the Moon Knight ult. Okay, and just going back to this path. Okay, they have a Punisher. Backing off. Their team is playing quite far. Okay, we back up after the Human Torch ults. Cloak and Dagger pops her ult. Not a bad knock-up on the Thor. Huge. So this is a console game. I forgot to mention that. So it's not going to be as snappy as like a mouse and keyboard. Okay, Human Torch is sitting AFK as Human Torch players do. And again, I like holding this room. I feel like you could be a little bit more aggressive with the room, considering like where your tanks are playing. But I don't know if there's a push to talk function on like console or not. And they end up ulting, we get stuck a little bit. Yeah, this is kind of... I enjoy the idea of brawling, but remember, like, we kind of want to be sitting in this room. I think what you want to be doing in a situation like this, rather than, like, walking out and showing yourself from this angle, Magic is really, really good at, like, just fighting if she's not being able to be seen by other people from, like, a third party, right? So if this is party 1, is the Thor, and we are party 2, and we're with Strange and Cloak, you actually can demon, like, portal into this wall to, like, hold your position a little bit, and then put a demon down and just start brawling with them. You don't really want to show here. Thor doesn't really have any kill priority here because his team is so far away, right? And because they're so far, you have a pretty good... they're kind of abandoning him, and they've gotten off of the thing, and they actually swapped over to a Punisher. So they're playing a little bit more poke-heavy, with Wanda being wherever she is, which I don't even think we are able to see her. Yeah, she's way back here, right? So currently, essentially, this is like a 1 on your team, like a 1 against your team. So you can play your demon here, and then allow your team to just dumpster him, and then play for final hit. Because if you show here, you know, now... I like the idea that we're putting the demon down, but now we're kind of exposed from the entire team rather than just, like, being in this room, you know? Which is a little bit more scary than that. You want to be like, oh, who can see me whenever I'm going to be moving forward, right? Game awareness, like, situational awareness of where everybody else is a very important thing to take into account. And we end up getting stuck before the ult can go down. Very unfortunate. Okay, let's see where your pathing goes. Okay. So this is one of those situations where we always want to be like pressing tabs, seeing who's alive, what do we have, what resources are available. So as you can see, we're popping the cap ult, as we just heard, but we don't have a support ult on Retainer quite yet, so it's not coming up anytime soon. And other than us, we have quite literally no artillery, right? So we are the big gun because Moon Knight's not going to have his ult for another year. Not like literally, but you know what I mean. It's going to be a second, so we have to make something really, really big happen here. If we're going to want to hold this, because right now we're getting tempoed really, really hard, unless this Captain America is able to, like, seal the deal on a few kills. Okay, Loki gets caught out. So right here, I feel like you're getting tunnel visioned a lot. I hate when people do this. I understand, like, the idea is very, very good, but you kind of have to take into account, like, the priority of, like, people, right? It should never... Flying characters are the last person on your roster unless they're blatantly just, like, in a bad spot and they deserve to be, like... If you're able to hit them, great, if it's, like, super obvious. But you don't want to be going for these Hail Mary plays because you're wasting a lot of time here. If we would divert our attention to literally anybody that is not Thor or Human Torch, this is a free kill, no doubt. This guy's just dead for free. And then Cloak and Dagger, she has a fade or she dies, right? There's no other option here. And Wanda's in the backline, so she can't even help. You, like, right now, again... We want to make sure that we are not in an even footing. We need to kill something, and Human Torch is just the least likely option. You have a better chance of killing Thor here than you do Human Torch, right? So we really want to focus something else. I don't really care more so about, like, are we killing the healer or the Punisher, because, you know, frankly, it's going to be a safer kill on the Punisher here because he's going to die in one shot if you land everything, and she has an escape route, right? She can't out-heal you solo by herself whenever you're fighting, you know, Punisher. Killing Human Torch would be huge here, but we want to be consistent with it, right? It's going to be much harder to hit the guy in the air rather than the dude on the ground. So we'll see, like, do you end up swapping? You do, but we end up burning the ult, and now we're kind of in a bad spot. Okay, you do end up getting both kills, but this could have been a lot cleaner, and there could have been you could have been outplayed here, right? If they would have ended up fixing something out of this. Again, we're doing a lot of looking at the Human Torch. Okay, good kill. You're catching them whenever they're, like, low, which is good. This is a good dive. Ooh. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. So this is a big thing that we should probably talk about here. There's a phrase when, like, playing League, right? There's the idea that you don't always have to show your entire hand of cards, right away. We see that they're low, and that's great. But the issue here is, like, if we land the dash, great, he actually does die, but I'm noticing that there's some, like, issues where we're, like, consistently hitting the dash. I think we've hit about one of them on the Thor. I think, no, we hit one on the Punisher a minute ago. I would prefer you to go for her over here on the right, the Invisible Woman, because she's going to have a harder time getting to this health pack. He's using his movement ability to get away, and just dashing over this box maybe and just, like, getting her out of there. At least getting one kill is a big thing, but the issue here is that we actually burn everything. We show our entire hand of cards before we can do anything else. So let's see. You end up spinning in, and then, again, we kind of overcommit at this point whenever he's got the health pack. And we drop the demon. And again, we're still kind of, like, paying attention to the Punisher when the Invisible Woman was, like, the easier target. If we kill her, and then we save the portal to leave, we actually have an idea to float, because now, again, we're getting tempoed, and they have a really big chance to actually win, because we're not able to get our secured kill. So, using our cooldowns a little bit better, managing them a bit better, would be a much better approach here. Poking with your big air slash, and then just portaling at them rather than just straight up dashing. Thank you so much for the follow, whoever's here. Oh my god, we actually got 2 follows while doing this. It's kind of crazy. So, that could have been a lot better. As for this positioning, I'm not the biggest hater about it, but I'm not the biggest fan either. I actually enjoy the idea on this map particularly, because there's a lot of cover that you can switch to because of these tight hallways for Magic, and the demons can be very, very useful because of that as well. I would like the idea of you, like, waiting in the sidelines over here, right? Especially right now whenever we don't have a tank on, on the map for us, right? Our Strange is way, way, way in the back with our Captain America. So until that happens, we kind of are going to be in a little bit of trouble. Showing early and just giving them some ult charge is kind of a risky move, especially, if they were able to jump out and, get a free kill. So I would prefer, like, us taking a spot, like some sort of advantage to poke in the sides to make them distracted a little bit, because right now they're just going to push the card for free anyway, right? You might as well do something productive to wait for our tanks. That way, whenever they do get here, if we're sitting over here on this side, we've already, like, noticed and made it very apparent that they're kind of just leaving their backline really far away. So you could sit over here, maybe. You can sit over here on the left wing, because we need to remember, like, who is on their team? It's the Thor, right? And Thor is going to always be quite far away from his healers because he's going to be playing, like, very brawl, very dive heavy. So he's going to be quite far away. So we want to be doing something a little bit more productive. Brawling with tanks is all good, but we have 2 tanks this game. So it's the value of it depreciates a little bit just because one of them is, like, Thor, right? He's just going to be dumping damage, and then he's going to get healing. So the biggest way to kill him and get him off the map is to get rid of the people that are healing him, right? If he's only got 1 healer on him at the very least, that's not going to be enough to save him, right? So we want to be doing something a little bit more productive, so that way in the long term, we're in an okay position. Okay, we dash in. This is incredibly scary. You never, ever, ever, ever just want to, like, straight up dash in like this. This guy, there's a really good chance this Punisher doesn't even die because he's got 2 healers looking at him, right? This cooldown could be detrimental and could actually lose you guys this push because currently you're up the exchange. You want your team, you want to push up, but if your team isn't going to do so with you, then it's going to be really, really hard. Especially on console, I don't know if you guys have open, like, if you guys are either open mic or there's no mic. It's a very, very scary position to be in, especially whenever you dash in like this. And now, if they end up looking at you, you could be in a very, very big issue. The Punisher is AFK and ends up not looking at you and pulling out a shotgun in any capacity, and the healers don't end up healing him. But in the future, you could get exposed. Like, you can get caught really, really hard. And you do not want that in a situation like this, especially whenever you guys have, the tempo here.
Don't drown in the darkness.
Okay. So right here, we get a little bit lost in the weeds. The second that we end up not being able to use our dash right here, and she fades out, the dash is your follow, the portal is not, right? The portal is more of, like, an incentive to make them move so that way you can get in line to use the dash. Because the biggest thing is, when people are running away, I don't know if you've noticed this, they're a lot more predictable than whenever they're walking towards you. So whenever they're running away, there's typically a clear point of contact where they want to go, right? They want to go back home, right? Towards the spawn. So regardless of if they're strafing left or right, you know that the point of they're either going to go home or a health pack if it's nearby so they can return to the 1v1 and try to win. Here, the second we end up missing this dash, he needs help. This Strange is dead, but the Thor is still killable. We need to either go and try to get a demon off or just back up entirely. My opinion is that we just back up because we see the Strange is dead. It's just not really a super easy area for us to win here. And focusing on this cloak and dagger in the air at which point in time, this, with how low our numbers are, it's just not gonna matter that much, right? Because there's essentially not a whole lot we can do other than Captain America going in and trying to get the kill on her or the Punisher. But the Thor is still here, so he's gonna have to entertain the idea of fighting this guy, and we're now down cooldown, so following is going to be quite hard. So I'd kind of back up and like play with your kit a little bit, waiting on cooldowns. Brawling here is not the worst, but again, like, we end up taking a lot of damage and end up falling because they still have so many bodies on the point, right? So backing up is definitely the move. And we actually, there's a really good chance that we lose Captain America here if he doesn't play this correctly as well. Right, see, so our entire team ends up falling, and, you know, we are partially to blame because they get a kill and then they end up steamrolling it as they do. It's very, very, very hard. I also think we're being incredibly obvious with how we're, like, diving. You never want to be diving from these angles that are straight out in front. An off angle is always something you want to be doing. You want to play with your tanks, but you always want to hold something that allows you to do every option that you can. Again, this is kind of a hard scene. I'm not a big fan of you doing these, like, plays on, like, flying targets, right? This is a very, very dangerous game that you're playing. You're kind of gambling a lot because you can't consistently guarantee you're always going to hit something like this. You know, it's good that you're trying to pressure her because the cloak and dagger is here taking damage, but you need to be poking. Do we have cooldowns here? Yeah, we still have our air slash. You know, we can throw that out and then we can watch her fall. You know, she's not going to be in the air forever, but our cloak and dagger ends up dying, and we actually have a really big window that we can die in as well if we're not careful.
Nice little pick-me-up.
See, again, there's never an opportunity here unless we ult where we're going to be able to hold this down. We hear that the Punisher is using a lot of utility, and we need to prepare for the idea that Thor is going to dive. We know that their team comp is playing very aggressive here, so we want to back up, go up onto this, and take it from a different perspective. Because then, if you want to fight a flyer, this guy's caught, right? This guy's just out here, and then the Punisher's alone as well with no healers looking at him. This is a perfect opportunity for you to get a kill early to even the score with your team, because they still have enough, there's enough area to go that your team will have an opportunity to, like, come back, right? But it's gonna be very reliant on what you're doing back here. If you want to do a play where you're kind of playing aggressive a little bit and trying to help the Captain America, the best way you can help him is by taking one of the bodies that are looking at him off. I don't care about this cloak and dagger. The Human Torch or the Punisher need to go. One of the two, because you're never killing Wanda and you're never killing Thor, right? So either or, but instead we kind of take the default approach and we're letting them, like, look at us. And again, we're showing a lot of our hand here. Okay, back up after not getting the kill.
Behold the god of thunder!
This is a big ult angle. This is a huge ult angle. We should have ulted. Like, I don't care if it's in their face. I don't care about what. The second that this Punisher ends up leaving this room, this is an ult, right? So that's the big kahuna. The Scarlet Witch never kills you here. There's never a world. Ult right here in this corner, and then you walk it in so your team can touch because you need to contest this point. But they end up getting it. Very, very, very unlucky. And then we end up playing inside of the tornado. Very, very awkward situation to be in. Okay, and... Oh, dude, that was a stretch of a lifetime. Holy crap. Wanda ult. Okay, I'm looking for kind of an ult play here whenever your team's back and we're fighting a 6. Okay, I like the waiting. I like the patience. This is much better. But again, I would like to see... Okay, we ult. Okay, much better. We end up going for somebody that's not a flyer. We get 2 kills. Okay, we help with getting the Thor. Now we can go for the Human Torch. We miss. Don't overextend. Let's back up.
I can handle anything now.
Okay, he ends up falling. And the Cloak and Dagger should die as well. Oh, wow. This is one of the situations where I actually was okay with you chasing. Okay, now the play is dead. We back up. Nice. Good, 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 good. This is a lot better. But, we openly see... So we're still looking at the tanks. We're getting a little tunnel vision. We openly see this girl out, like, overextending. This is a kill here, right? We need something here. We're never in a position where... Even if we hit this guy, right? Whether the thing dies or not has nothing to do with if we're hitting the Thor, right? He's going to die regardless of if we're doing damage to him. Because they have such, like, high tempo here. We need to get... If we're going to do something and get a kill, we need to kill this person. Otherwise, we're kiting backward. Because there's not really an angle where we win. Our healers are off board, I think. Yeah, Captain America is over there. And then other than that is just us, as far as I know. Where's Invisible Woman? Yeah. So we have no healers. So right now, this is a press tab, and we need to kite backward, right? We don't have anybody with us. This is going to get very, very hard. Okay. Very good. We need to go further, though, even further. This is too scary. If you do not have a tank on site, you cannot be taking aggressive angles like this. They have all of their team up, right? And as we can see, like, they have 2 characters that can kind of bypass how much damage we can do. One-shotting Wanda's not really a possibility because she can fade out, and then she can kind of watch you run away and do some aimbot damage. And then as for the other person, the Human Torch is always in flight, right? So it's going to be quite hard for us to do any damage to him in any capacity. Right, and then we end up dying. We just need to go as far back as we need to until we are fighting with 6. There's never an opportunity if we're just Moon Knight and us that we can do enough damage to kind of get rid of this issue.
Down to 30 seconds. Charge. From limbo.
Revenge is sort of my specialty.
They look like they mean business.
Behold the
Okay, he ends
god
up
of
bolting.
thunder!
It's an honor to serve alongside.
Okay,
10 seconds.
we go back for the health pack. Very good.
Until we have a winner.
Nice. We're looking at the puncher. We could have gone behind him, but this is, you know, something is better than nothing. Nice, big kill. Very, very good look. Nice. Very, very good.
Come, my minions.
Okay. We're looking for the Human Torch. I know he's low, but we gotta get our head out of the clouds. This is a very, very important fight. We're burning a lot of abilities on the Cloak and Dagger. We just want to hold some of those.
Judge, jury,
Waiting on cooldowns. Oh, Jeff pulled him off the card, I think. That's funny. Okay. I liked that last fight a little bit more than the others, right? I enjoyed that last fight quite a bit more in comparison. But I do have some gripes about it, about that round as a whole. In my opinion, I feel like this is one of the situations where stats don't tell the whole story of a game. You got a lot of final hits, but a lot of them were on characters that were already low by the product of what your team has done. And while that's not always necessarily a bad thing, we need to kind of be understanding of the fact that we're playing the lottery, so to speak. It is a team game, but we need to be the person that gives our team the opportunity to do something, right? And I'm feeling like we're kind of leaving a lot up to chance here. That was a good round, but it was not a good showing of like what did we accomplish. Other than that like final fight, I actually don't really think that we ourselves were the person, you know, winning this game for our team. I think that we were assisting and getting a lot of the pickups. Like we have 9 final hits, which is not terrible for the end of the first, but I feel like that could be a lot better if we're taking better angles. I like that you went behind. You had analyzed and were like, okay, this Punisher's alone. He's killable. Great. Now the Cloak and Dagger is alone and killable. Great. We killed both of them. And now we can move into the air. The Wanda's ulting. She obviously takes priority. We kill her or move away. We killed her. Great. That's a good fight, you know? But the issue is there are a lot of other fights where we're just kind of fighting the tank way too much. We need to actually be getting ready to go and fight other things that are not just the tank. And we also need to learn whenever we need to back up a little bit more, because otherwise we're going to be playing the game a chance, right? Because right now this game actually felt like this game feels like a coin flip. We don't want it to be a coin flip. We want this game to be as rigged in our favor. We want weighted dice here, but we're not really giving that. We're being way too honest and showing way too much in our hands. Whenever you hold all the cards, you have an opportunity in a lot of these situations to hyper carry this game, but because of our positioning, we're kind of leaving a lot open, and we don't really want that, right? It's very, very, very scary.
Got it? How about I switch things up and make our
And this goes beyond, like, I don't really care about the dashes or anything like this. It's just basic fundamentals. You can walk in a straight line at some of these people, and they'll probably die. I like this. I like taking the aggressive angle over here on the right. We come back after we get spotted by the Wanda. We end up walking left.
Okay, this feels
This first point is going to rely heavily on what you do off of your tank's contact, right? So it's going to... Everything on this first push always matters. What is your tank doing and what can we do to help him? That's the biggest thing about this point, and killing their supports. Because otherwise, the supports are the only pillar on this team for this point every game. If they die, then the point is won. Okay, huge kill. She overextended. Now we can walk it in.
just in time.
Okay. I like you not using the dash yet. Okay. Probably didn't need the extra portal. I preferred just walking her down, but it happens. This is a much better one. You went for the healer. You killed the overexposed Wanda. That was a very, very good play. Very solid.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Darkness.
This is a much better angle. You're taking something on the side of the map, and you're waiting. You're playing around your tank's strengths because he's able to dive. It's very, very good. This is very good space taking compared to earlier.
War's not over, Steve. You can't stand down yet.
Okay, Punisher's overexposed. Big chance. Okay, very good. Get out. No problem. Now we just wait for cooldowns and hit this Thor. Thor is dead. This is tempo. They have no tank. We walk. We walk after we kill this Punisher. Huge. Big. Now we can literally, at this point, there's no world that we are killable. Like, unless Wanda pulls out some crazy stuff, Human Torch is not going to do enough burst damage to get us down. We just straight up walk in a straight line at the enemy team, and they will die. There's no way that they win. Don't back up. Don't back up here. No, we need to go forward here. Thor is walking forward. We must walk forward. Okay. This is a big ult angle. We need to dash up and ult. Okay. This is one of those situations where, like, an ult is huge. It's critical, right? Because the cart is good. This is a good enough cart push that we can pretty much get it to the end of this rope if we, like, dash somewhere and we ult. So we need to go up here on this top right, or we need to go, like, up here on this top left, and we just need to ult, and then we need to kill the entire team. Because if we do that, it's going to be a huge win for our team. Because they're getting a lot of time, and we're giving them time to get their team back. Okay, we ult. It's a bit late, though. We're hitting the guy in the air. Okay, change it up. Big, kill the Punisher. Just she pushes you away, no problem. Okay. It's a good ult. I mean, if we would have done it late, like a little earlier, though, I think our entire team kills everybody and nobody on our team dies for it. You better not go kill that Iron Man. Oh, man. Okay, he dies, though. The team looked at him. Okay, Thor's contesting. Very big. So we had some good showings there, and we ended up helping and getting the kill on the Iron Man, which is good. We got the Punisher, but I feel like, again, this was one of the situations where this could have gone way worse, and they could have stalled that way harder if one of their teammates played a little bit better. They would never get a chance to Invisible Middle if we popped Darkchild, right? It's a very, very big situation for us. They either pop it earlier than their team can get back, or they pop it next fight. But we would have gotten a lot more time out of it. Very, very good, though.
I shall show no that a true god brings light, not darkness.
Okay, walking up. Again, I would kind of prefer... an idea of going like far left over here, playing around the health pack that's over here on this like this little cliff, and then we can get an angle to look at these people that aren't going to be looking at us rather than being up front. We don't need any more frontline damage. We have Bucky, we have Thor, we have Rocket. You know, we have plenty of DPS going into this front line. We need some backline damage, right? Captain America on his own is not going to be able to do enough, but with our help, he can. He can actually be able to be that guy that's finishing people off, right? So I feel like we need to go on the left and leave a lot less of the space open. The right is an okay one. It's a little bit weaker, but, you know, this is a good idea, though. Okay, big kill. We got the dash in, but this is a very, very big and important moment for us, right? I want us to kind of think about it this way, right? This goes for everybody that's in, like, these lower ranks, because a lot of you guys do this. Rather than dashing at the Invisible Woman, what we want to do is, again, we don't want to show all of our cards. They have no idea that we're here until we let this slash out. If we just walk in a straight line at them and we place her demon down, she then will be forced to use all of her movement cooldowns. And then we can dash at her to follow, and then she has no way of leaving, right? She either gets healed or she dies entirely. But because we dash, we give her a window because we're not able to finish her off for her to live a little bit longer, and then we die. If we play this correctly, we don't ever die here, and we even come out of this maybe with more utility than we went into the fight with, right? It's a good pick, though. Getting rid of the support is always an important thing. But we also need to remember, we have a lot further distance to go than they do. Magneto ult. Okay, going inside of the cloak ult. Here we see the cloak is out of position. Huge. See? Placing the demon down worked way better than dashing at her. Same thing could be said for this situation, right? Rather than... We don't need a dash here, right? We could just walk at him. There's no danger... Like, we're no reason to, like, rush this. And now we don't have the dash to get out. It could have been bad. Thor almost dies. Hell's in backline? What is she doing? She's smoking crack. I don't know what that was. Okay, big knockup. The problem right here is, like, getting him in the air is good, but again, he's got a lot of eyes on him, right? We need to go kill a support because he's got a lot of healing. Hitting this guy's not going to do anything but charge the support a little bit more. And then we end up dying as a product of it. Okay, what's our pathing looking like? Okay, Thor showing Asgard's might. This is a big ult. This is a really good one, actually. Okay. This is huge. This is the other big play. We could have had another one of these earlier, but this is huge. This is a really, really good play. I love to see it. That's awesome. This play single-handedly will win you the game, yeah. That was a good one. The other thing I'm noticing, right? On console, I feel like characters like Iron Man are going to be a bit better than characters like... a bit better because they're a lot easier to play on console compared to PC because you don't have like a hit scan aimbotting you out of the sky every time. I feel like going for these big kills on people in the air on console is a lot harder than it is than it will be on PC because you have a lot less wiggle room, right? Like this guy has a lot more safety just because of the the platform difference. So again, going for him is okay, but I would prefer us to kind of just wait, throw shit at him, and then be like, what are you going to do about it? You know? Because if we're with the comfort of our team, this guy's never going to kill us, right? But I think Bucky should be able to just, like, clean up the rest of this match. Right? If he hits a shot. If he hits a shot. Hello? Hello? Okay, whatever. No problem. We end up... Do we win the fight? No, we actually lose the fight. We didn't have to. Yeah, us dying a little early is very tragic because they actually are able to hold this. Now the game is actually losable again because we only have a minute on the clock. We're showing a little bit overexposed here. That's very scary. We want to start taking a position for the future here rather than doing something right now.
I got you. Shields up.
Okay. Iron's super killable. Big. He's out of position. Very big. Okay, yeah, walk at the support.
I am ready
She ends up
to put on a
ulting.
show.
Beholds the god of thunder!
We're kind of alone right now. We're a man without a country. Our team's not here yet. We need to be very careful. We're a little bit in the thick of it. Yeah. When they're in ult like this, being like this, we just need to be like, we need to make the realization a little bit quicker that our team is just not here, right? Like, I don't care if our tank is up here, I don't even give I don't give a damn, bro. We need to back up because this is super duper losable. Like, this game is a big, like, coin flip right now. We do not want it to be that way. Because we're kind of just getting laser beamed right now for nothing. We're not really getting anything other than ult charge.
We can take them.
And we're down a tank as well now. It's, honestly, it's gonna take a little bit of a miracle to kind of win. And I think our Bucky's giving it to us in a way. Because he did get a pick through the support ult. Yeah, no, he ends up dying. Yeah.
If no rises, it's all over. Survive.
Okay, so big that you get on the cart.
We have a winner.
You guys end up getting back on?
Back from
Let me see.
limbo.
Tandy needs help.
Asgard is with you. I am barely wounded.
Okay. This is a really scary situation to be in. Are we back yet? We are. Alright, so we're brawling. Don't want to C9, obviously.
Sometimes I forget.
And we win by a hair. And that just it? Yeah. Okay, so overall, again, 25 final hits, not bad. My issue with this game is that you turned the ending part of this match into a bit of a coin toss, and we never want to see something like that, right? We died a little bit early on the final part, and we died to the Iron Man, and then we stayed too long while they were support ulting, just punching them. Because of both of these things, you're not necessarily the entire reason why you guys would have lost, but if I would have taken a look at this and I would have watched your replay, I would have immediately pointed to our Magic died here early, and then I would have looked at the second one. I would have gone, our Magic fought in the support ult and died early alone. You know, these things are important, and this is a coin flip of a game, right? You had some good plays that were like, oh wow, you know, this game is a complete win. There's no way that they will lose off of this. But then you made a small mistake, and a very crucial mistake at that, and it ended up kind of putting you guys on a really, really, really tough scene, and you never want to do that. Again, you want to give your team as much opportunity as you possibly can to win the game. And right here, it's super duper scary, you know? I would just be very, very careful moving forward, and I would be a little bit more aware of like we were targeting, right? Because we were fighting the flying characters a lot more than we needed to whenever we were seeing a lot of people that could have just died on the ground, right? So that's it for me. I hope you guys got something out of this, and I hope that Squat, I hope that you ended up getting a little bit out of this too. It was a very, very fun match to watch, and I appreciate you sending it in. Remember, if you guys want to have a chance of getting these, put it in the Discord, like and subscribe if you like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Later. Bye. Love you. See ya.